Imagine these two massive American forces, right? One, this pop music empire, stadiums packed, tours breaking records everywhere.
Total global phenomenon.
And the other, pure NFL gridiron power. Super Bowl rings, like physical dominance. They were in totally different worlds for years.
Completely separate orbits.
But then they collide. And it's not, in some fancy VIP club. It starts with a handmade bracelet.
And a confession. Into microphone.
Yeah. It wasn't some slick PR setup, was it? It felt, well, vulnerable, but also really smart.
Exactly. A 14-time Grammy winner meets a 3-time Super Bowl champ. And suddenly the whole world is watching this story unfold. It started feeling like a cute rom-com, but boom, it turns into this huge cultural thing and an economic engine, too.
And just like that, the world had a new obsession. Welcome to Starscope Report.
Join us as we uncover the Hollywood drama, the music industry shakeups, and, yeah, those viral scandals everyone's talking about.
From red carpet surprises to, major social media moments, we dive deep.
Today, we're really getting into the Tayvis phenomenon. We're chronicling this romance that felt like a John Hughes movie at times.
Right.
But ended up being this incredibly managed, yet somehow authentic-seeming story. It's the love story you thought you knew, but maybe didn't know the half of.
We're going to break down the key moves, the big cultural impacts, and, yeah, even the private moments that took them from that failed friendship bracelet attempt, the fumble, to this huge, dazzling engagement announcement.
And stick around, because later we'll get into the shocking friend breakup that almost threw a wrench in everything.
Okay, so before the Super Bowl kiss, before the drama with friends, we got to rewind. Back to the beginning, the fumble.
The inciting incident, really. Arrowhead Stadium, July 8th, 2023.
Travis Kelce's there for the Eras Tour.
Yep. And what's crucial, I think, is how he was there. He wasn't just like a celeb making an appearance. He jumped right into the Swiftie culture, trading friendship bracelets with fans, fully participating. He got that engaging on her turf, on her terms, was step one.
But he had this plan, right? Kind of charmingly old school.
Totally. He made a special bracelet with his phone number on it.
His phone number. Okay. And the plan was to give it to Taylor after the show.
That was the goal. But here's the snag. The Eras Tour is a machine. The logistics are intense.
So what happened?
Plan failed completely. Because Taylor, well, she doesn't talk to anyone right before or right after those massive shows. It's like 3.5 hours long.
Got to protect the voice, the energy. Makes sense.
Exactly. So the bracelet with the number never even got close. He admitted later he was, his words, a little butthurt.
Okay, but wait. That failure, airing it out like that, wasn't that super risky? If she hadn't responded to the podcast thing later, he could have looked, well, kind of desperate.
But see, that's where the strategy comes in. He didn't let the rejection narrative fester. He grabbed control of it. Fast.
How soon?
Less than 3 weeks later. July 26th episode of New Heights, the podcast he does with his brother Jason. He just laid it all out. The whole awkward, kind of funny story.
Right, using their platform, bypassing the usual gossip channels, no waiting for TMZ to spin it.
Precisely. He controlled the tone, made it a charming declaration of interest, framed as just a funny miss. It basically put the ball in her court, No pressure for an instant reply.
And she liked that.
Apparently, yeah. She really appreciated the boldness. Later, in her Time Person of the Year interview, she called it metal as hell.
Metal as a hell. I remember that.
Yeah. She compared it to, like, an 80s movie.
Yeah.
Standing outside her window with a boombox. She saw it as this big romantic gesture, not some calculated media play.
Wow. Okay, so the failed bracelet becomes the winning move, basically, and that leads to them actually connecting privately first.
That's the key part people missed initially. They spent, as she put it, a significant amount of time that no one knew about, just getting to know each other. Late July through September 2023.
She made that really clear, didn't she? That they were already a couple before that first Chiefs game appearance.
Oh, yeah. She shut down the idea that game one was like some nerve-wracking public first date.
Her quote was something like, "We would never be psychotic enough to hard launch a first date." Which is hilarious, but also strategic. Can you unpack hard launch for anyone maybe not deep in the lingo?
Sure. So a hard launch is like the big public reveal.
Yeah.
The Instagram post, the hand-in-hand pap shot, the clear confirmation. We're together.
Okay.
For people like them, launching too soon is just asking for chaos. Intense media scrutiny, endless speculation, paparazzi camped out.
Nightmare fuel, probably.
Totally. So by locking it down privately first, That first public appearance wasn't a test drive. It was her supporting her partner. Different frame entirely.
And Kelce kind of set the stage for that appearance, right? On the Pat McAfee show.
He did. September 21st.
Yeah.
He confirmed he'd invited her to rock the stage at Arrowhead. Built the anticipation.
And then, boom, September 24th. Game day, the debut.
And it was perfect. She's there, right next to Donna Kelce, his mom, looking totally into it, animated, cheering like crazy.
The chest bump that went viral instantly.
The chest bump, exactly. And the Chiefs won big, 41-10. It was just cinematic.
And this is where it goes beyond just a celebrity couple. It becomes this huge economic thing for the NFL.
Instantly, the broadcasts knew what they had. Constant cutaways to her suite. And the viewership numbers spiked, especially among young women, an audience the NFL always wants more of.
And the merch sales followed. That 400% jump in Kelce jersey sales, just wild.
It was massive. She wasn't just adding glamour. She was bringing this enormous, super engaged fan base and consumer base directly to the NFL.
Which brings up the whole WAG conversation. Wives and girlfriends. That term can be kind of loaded.
Yeah.
How did her presence change that dynamic?
That's a great point. Historically, WAG often felt dismissive, right? Like partners were just accessories. But Taylor Swift arrives already being arguably the biggest star on the planet.
Right. She wasn't defined by him.
Not at all. If anything, she amplified his world. And her enthusiasm felt so genuine. She was an active participant, making a tangible economic impact. It completely flipped the script on that old trope.
And the visual storytelling was just chef's kiss, leaving the stadium together in his vintage purple Chevelle.
And fans clocked it immediately. Kelce's outfit, that blue and white denim.
Very 1989 coded.
Totally.
Yeah.
And then Kelce leans into it, calls the car his getaway car, directly referencing her song.
See, it's not just dating. It's like they're co-directing this public narrative. Sports meets song lyrics.
It's fascinating.
Okay, if you're loving this breakdown of how these huge celebrity relationships actually work, make sure you hit subscribe. We've still got the Super Bowl drama, the family integration, and that, Friends situation to unpack.
Because once that public launch was truly official, which really cemented in October with the SNL cameos and the hand-holding pics after.
Yeah, that felt like the final confirmation.
Right. After that, it became this masterclass of mutual support, like across continents.
Kelce flying down to Buenos Aires during his bye week in November, that felt significant.
Huge commitment. And he's immediately seen with her dad, Scott Swift, in the VIP tent. And Scott's wearing a Chiefs lanyard. The integration was immediate and visible.
Which leads to that moment, the lyric change in Argentina.
Iconic. Karma is the guy on the Chiefs, coming straight home to me. The cameras caught Travis's reaction. Just beaming, blushing, pure gold.
A truly global, heartfelt moment.
And the family stuff just kept getting deeper. Christmas Day, her whole family, mom, dad, brother Austin dressed as Santa Claus, they're all at Arrowhead for the game.
That sends a pretty clear message. Serious commitment on both sides. Deep respect.
Then comes the Super Bowl, February 2024. The logistics alone were insane. Flying from Tokyo right after a show to make it to Vegas for kickoff.
That's dedication, and her being so visibly stressed and then ecstatic during the game, it reinforced that she wasn't just there for the photo op, she was in it.
Totally invested.
And then the fairy tale ending, right?
Yeah.
The confetti, the Chiefs win in overtime, the big kiss. Perfect visuals.
Perfect. But behind the scenes, we learned there was some gentle pressure building.
And the dads.
Yeah. Apparently, both Ed Kelce and Scott Swift were kind of nudging Travis, like, okay, time to get this done.
Huh. No pressure, Trav.
Right. But importantly, Ed Kelce confirmed Travis did formally ask Scott for his blessing, about a month before he actually proposed.
That's proper.
And Scott's approval was huge. Reports said he was just raving about Travis, saying he'd made the biggest impact of any boyfriend Taylor's had in over a decade.
Wow. High praise.
Very.
But merging these huge celebrity worlds, it's never simple, is it? Things got complicated with her friends, specifically Blake Lively.
Yeah, that was tricky. Late 2024, early 2025, Taylor got kind of pulled into this legal thing involving Blake Lively, and it definitely seemed to put a strain on that friendship, which is obviously very high profile itself.
That's a potential PR nightmare. How do you fix a rift between A-listers without feeding the gossip machine? You can't just issue a press release.
No, that would just make it worse. So their solution was, well, classic them, subtle, controlled.
What did they do?
They used the New Heights podcast again, the strategic olive branch, as some called it. They quietly re-released an old members-only episode.
Okay.
And in that episode, Travis just happens to be gushing, totally innocently it seemed, about how great Blake Lively was in the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
Ah, okay. Clever.
Right. Not addressing the drama directly, but putting out this positive signal, this public show of admiration for Blake, using their own platform. It neutralizes the feud narrative without confirming anything specific. Masterful.
It really is about controlling the story, isn't it? Which leads perfectly into the ultimate announcement.
The full circle moment. August 13th, 2025. Taylor makes a surprise appearance. Guess where?
New heights.
Bingo. To announce her 12th album, The Life of a Showgirl. And she jokingly calls the podcast her personal dating app.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Fully owning the origin story.
And then the art reflects the life immediately.
Yeah.
The album drops, and it's filled with these really specific, heartfelt nods to their relationship. There's that track, Wood.
Right, with the redwood tree line.
And the New Heights of Manhood lyric. I mean, talk about weaving your lives together.
It's incredibly intimate, but also public.
A complete fusion.
And then just a couple of weeks later, August 26th, 2025, the Instagram post, the engagement is official.
Beautiful photos, very floral, romantic.
Mm-hmm.
But the caption.
Caption was perfect. Your English teacher and your gym teacher getting married.
It just perfectly captured both their personas, right? The wit, the sincerity, just them.
Absolutely brilliant. Okay, final reminder. If you want more deep dives into how these massive pop culture stories take shape, hit that subscribe button. Don't miss out.
So looking back at this whole 2-year whirlwind, from that kind of awkward bracelet moment to this really complex, fully integrated engagement.
What's the big takeaway?
I think it shows that in today's world, celebrity authenticity is often something that's very carefully built and told directly by the stars themselves using their own channels. They didn't shut out the media.
No, they just set the terms,
Right.
dictated the conversation.
Exactly. And looking ahead, it's still fascinating. Like Taylor being so clear about not doing the Super Bowl halftime show right now.
Yeah, that was interesting. Her reasoning was all about supporting Travis during the season, right? Prioritizing his career focus.
Totally. She basically said, paraphrasing here, how could I be focused on choreography when he's out there risking everything each week?
That's a powerful statement of priorities.
It really is. But she didn't completely rule it out forever, did she? Hinted maybe after he retires.
Which leaves us with a really interesting final thought to chew on.
Mm-hmm.
In a time when female artists especially are constantly fighting for their space, for dominance, for self-promotion, what does it signal when arguably the biggest female artist in the world makes a conscious, strategic choice to put her partner's career stability ahead of maybe the single biggest performance spotlight she could possibly have?
That's something to think about. What does that say about power dynamics, partnership, and maybe a new kind of celebrity power couple?
You've been listening to Starscope Report, where Jordan and Jamie uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.